Hello everyone. Hello, namaste, welcome. Hello, hello. Welcome everyone. Today we have the Global Ascension meeting. We will have some important new updates on the current developments of ascension process towards the event and how things are clearing up on this earth. We will have a few announcements of some latest developments and resources at the Galactic Academy. And most importantly, today we will do some amazing energy work to recognize the essential perfection of creation, the perfection of 5D, the law of love, and during the practice, during the meditation, we will use a very important technique to unify our energy centers into a unified field so that your higher self, spirit, soul can have a direct access to the here and now of your present here and now location, and excitingly we will tune into the future that you would like to create, and we will use a powerful technique to fold and bring that future closer into the present. So essentially we will do ascension work, recognizing the love and perfection of creation as it is originally intended by the God self, by the source self. So let's start with some updates. Last few days, there were what is called Schumann resonance blackouts. Schumann resonance is an earth frequency, and when a blackout happens, it's like rebooting the computer system. Everything goes offline, things are restarted, rebooted, like restarting your phone, and everything is booted up again. So these blackouts happen as a higher dimensional recoding of the Earth's frequency. There are many scientific instruments measuring the Schumann resonance. And it's been noted over the last few years that it's rising and rising, this Earth frequency, and thus meaning ascension. And interestingly, just a few days ago, there was a quite a prolonged blackout for nearly 2 days, which is very rare, extremely rare. So we had basically a major Earth reboot that can be measured with scientific instruments. What has been happening is the higher dimensional recoding of 5D, 6D and above energetics. And we can say that these blackouts are also can be interpreted as system upgrades. So especially if you have your computer, Windows or Mac, and you upgrade it to the next higher level of operating system, and then you see that many things, it's still the same Windows or Mac, but then you see that many different graphic elements are there. There are more functions and features. It's an upgrade. It's an upgrade of the system. So the same thing exactly was happening right now. The whole energy, Earth's energy system was upgraded quite a big time, like a major upgrade. How it resonates, or what does it mean for you personally and for most of other people, is that I noticed with meeting people in the last 2 weeks that everyone is going through a large cycle, life cycle completion. There is a large completion in yourself. These are called life cycles or soul cycles, cycles of life experience and life lessons, life challenges and all the good things of life. And we can say it's another graduation, a soulful graduation. Particularly, I noticed that it had to do with the higher self. For majority, higher self, in simple words, it's your spirit. It is you as a perfect being in 5D, in the heavenly 5D and above. So I noticed that the higher selves of human beings are coming closer and closer, meeting this, what is called the lower self, the mind, the body, which lacks the awakening into its own higher consciousness state. So I've seen with countless people that everyone has been awakening to their higher self. And I do notice these synchronicities very well, because they come as groups of people, and they all have the same need. They need the same kind of help. So higher self, for those of you who are at a higher level of consciousness, love and above, still there is a big portion of the mind operating system functioning in you. And the higher self, you need to remember that it is you, perfected you, or heavenly you, or the light body you, eternal you, which is a greater you basically, who is in 5D and above. So in the eyes of the higher self, this body is a fraction of what the higher self is, because the higher self can have even more bodies across different timelines. So in the eyes of the higher self, this body is a small fraction of its own self, of its own heavenly self, and it is managing uh, many lower selves in different timelines, time frames, and even parallel universes or parallel timelines. So your higher self integration, it continues endlessly, really, until you are absolutely one as a higher self. And that would mean being at 1000 at full consciousness. And even there are steps to go through so that the higher self is fully integrated, meaning that the lower self is out of the way. Sometimes, of course, you can focus more on only higher self development. There are various systems of connections with the higher self. But essentially it means that the lower self is out of the way, or it means that your karmic cycle is cleansed, purified, and finished, that there's no more karmic energies residing in your system, and thus the higher self can, your spirit self can embody itself into this form that you are. So that's what's really going on right now on a global scale. And of course, those beings and people who are open to their own development, they notice these changes and they welcome their own spirit self. And those people who are not working on themselves and just focusing on the 3D materialistic life or mentality alone, they will feel certain changes and synchronicities, but to a much smaller degree, because simply their focus is not placed on the spirit self. So some other big news is that the clearing of the negative entities continues in 4D and 3D, the negative intended people and beings. And this war of light and dark forces is basically already won by the light a couple of years ago, but it's a very complex clearing process that is happening right now, because many of you know that the negative intended beings and people, they have many underground bases and even cities, especially beneath United States and partly around Europe and many other places. And therefore, these underground tunnels and bases are very difficult to be cleared. That's where they are keeping a lot of wealth, you know, because they've been stealing from humanity for thousands of years, all the gold and jewels and art and anything that they could get their hands on. They've been stealing that from humanity for thousands of years, and they've been keeping it underground in those bases. I know a contact, a person who has been working on moving the currencies around the world and the physical gold bullions. And he works directly with the US government. And he said himself that with the US government, it was around a year ago or so that that they cleared under the Vatican City in Rome, the underground tunnels, because they presented all the evidence to the Pope of all the criminal behavior of what's been going on in the Christian political system. Nothing to do with Jesus. It's just human, the human greed and all these religious wars that happened. So they hoarded so much gold and money and art and technologies that it took 600 planes fully loaded with gold to be flown out of underground of Vatican. 600 planes full of gold, jewels, and all other good stuff, loaded and flown out of underground Vatican. And that gold has been mainly stolen from the other European countries during these religious wars, from Asian countries such as Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam, as well as US and other countries. And there are records from where this wealth has been taken. And that wealth has been redistributed back to those from whom it was taken. This is not public news, but actually it is on the news, just not on BBC or CNN. It is on the news, on the alternative media, and the QAnon and the people who actually were flying those planes, the US military and so on. They confirmed that that's what's been going on. So the good thing is that the light has already won, and what's going on is basically reclaiming that which has been stolen, and clearing out those people and criminals who still want to keep control, who still want to blackmail and sabotage and engineer another new war and do all these bad activities. And catching bad guys is not an easy thing, so that's why it's taking a bit of time. They're very wealthy and powerful people. They have their own little armies, but the global military is very organized now, and essentially the most dangerous phase of the planetary liberation war lasted from December 2017 until May this year, 2021. So the most dangerous phase of fighting with those criminals, getting things back, and making sure that they will not cause any more major damages. This most dangerous phase is over, basically. It's not finished yet because it's a global, very complex process, but things are going good. That's the big summary. At the same time, for those who are more aware of higher dimensions, that clearing of quantum anomaly around the Earth and all dark force exotic weapons such as scalar weaponry has been in the clearing process very successfully. There's still some left, and that's extremely advanced technology that has been used by various entities, so to speak, and that's mainly in 4D, where a lot of disharmonies and distortions are. So we need to understand that negativity as such, or evil, is basically a selfish error, a selfish intended error. And it is known that there has been a fall of angelics It happened actually millions of years ago, and not in physical. It happened in the higher dimension in 4D. And it's a very complex history of many millions and thousands of years um, that will be released to the public. And it is released already bit by bit. But the educational history books speak nothing of that. So this knowledge will come forward, and we will come to recognize it. But essentially, the angelic realm has also won against the dark, the evil, or error-causing entities, and that is also clearing very well. And we can say it's hard to give any particular percentage or estimation, but we can say that at least 80% of the most difficult job is done, and thus we're coming closer and closer to what is called the event, which is very interestingly now being announced in the alternative media, in the physical alternative media. So it's no longer something that the ascension groups are talking about. Now the alternative media is talking about the event from the physical standpoint of view of the global military, financial system changes, even the electricity grid changes, and shifting away from the petroleum industry and gas and coal into fully electrical industry, which we're witnessing with all these electrical cars going mainstream now, and soon to be released Tesla energy generators, which allow electricity to be generated easily, nearly freely, and even transferred across great distances with ease. We are basically on the precipice of the golden age, and everything is being prepared, and everything that we've been speaking about in ascension meetings for nearly a decade now is now coming to actual physical materialization, and thus the event is coming closer and closer and closer. I would give an estimation that it is maybe 20% possible that it's going to happen this year. It is 50% possible that it's going to happen next year, in 2022. And I would give 90% probability that it's going to happen by 2025. So if you hold on and buckle up a bit, in the next 4 years, definitely it's gonna happen, and we're gonna witness the biggest change in the whole civilization like we've never witnessed ever before as humanity. So, and then things will roll out so quickly, so fast, that every day will be like a wonder of new technologies released, wealth distributed. You're gonna see so many people arrested who were doing bad things, and you will feel even yourself that there's a great ease and lightness on this earth, and that will open up like a great optimism and light on this earth, to be seen and felt consciously by everyone. So that's coming up soon. Really, really amazing news. Right. Let's see what we have next. Yes. You need to understand something that you have heard before. but you didn't really probably experienced or believed in it. So the source self, the God self, or the God created universe is perfect in design. It is perfect in design. It is perfect in its blueprint, and it is perfect in its creation. So the whole universe is actually created in a perfect way. And that is how the universe is functioning. It is, of course, self-sustainable by the source self, by God, or you may call it consciousness. And you know, all these galaxies and hundreds of billions of planets are harmoniously doing what they're doing. As you know, in this Milky Way galaxy alone, there is over 100 billion other planets. So what kind of intelligence is governing all of that? It is a perfect creation indeed. Even our solar system is very beautiful, and it is perfect in itself the way it is. You know, the sun, the absolutely perfect conditions of life for this earth are here. And as you feel yourself that it's just the right temperature, maybe it's slightly a bit too hot right now in Europe, but still bearable. Um, but essentially, overall, you know, it's a million perfect conditions for you to live on this earth, and that is created by design. It is no man has done it. It is not a creation of man. You know, what humanity does is actually the opposite. It's interfering with the natural creation and causing, you know, earth damages. So, however, you need to understand that the God creation is perfect, and even your beautiful human body is perfect in creation. And thus, there are some known issues, you know, with the, due to interferences, though, due to interferences of the fallen angelics, the all sorts of suppressing mechanisms. That's why it's difficult to experience this perfection of creation. But if you look around and for a moment forget humanity and just really look at yourself, your own body, how perfect it is at living, sustaining itself. And if you look around the nature, the earth, the solar system, the galaxy, the universe, it is undeniable perfection. And thus, that is the true creation of divine, of God, source. It is governed by the law of love. The primary law in the whole universe is the law of love. And the law of one, since all is one actually, nothing is actually separate. Nothing is actually separate. Yeah, nothing in reality is separate. Because how can you ever be separate from the universe? Impossible. So only due to interferences, humanity is experiencing the apparent, assumed separateness. It seems to be real, but it only seems to be real. It feels to be separate, it seems to be separate, it seems to be real, but it only seems to be separate. But actually, it's not. In reality, it's not. The reality is not separate. So that's what you really need to know, and really put into your mind, to know that you are not separate from the universe. Just think about it for a second. So really put it into your intellect to know this certainly 100%, that you cannot ever be separate from the universe and God itself, which is all basically. So if we forget the humanity in its present state, and if you want to experience the perfection of creation and perfection of living, first of all, you need to disassociate with humanity, what's going on, and all the social programming and mental programming and all that stuff, and to really come to the basics of realization of perfection. To truly live this law of love and perfection. Perfection is a quality of love. Yes, perfection is a quality of love. Beauty is a quality of love. Harmony is a quality of love. Nurturing, care is a quality of love. Compassion, of course. So for a moment, you can disassociate from everything you know as this human limitation, and 100% stand in the truth of knowing of perfection of creation, which I just described just a moment ago, and to fully accept that truth. At the same time, you need to witness in acceptance of this truth of love and perfection. You need to notice that most likely you are supporting the imperfection, consciously or subconsciously. You will immediately come up with things that this is not right, that that's not good, that this could be better. And this is how it is supported. This is how the imperfection is supported. This is how it is accepted, even if you consciously don't like it, but since you are supporting it in you by not liking it and holding that within you, it is, from the absolute perspective, it is your responsibility to recognize what is held in you. So you will recognize that there are only few people on this earth who truly support this love and perfection of creation, who truly accept divine God as it is, and who do not deny the existence of perfection in all that is. And therefore, this absolute acceptance can either be named as enlightenment or ascension, and you will understand that it's a disassociation from nearly everything that you know, the way that humanity is functioning right now. So this is the gap that we need to bridge as humanity, as long as it's gonna take. To live in a golden age, it is to fully accept the creation, perfection, and love and oneness of all that it is. And because that is the truth of life. And therefore, the quicker we accept that and the less we deny and resist, the quicker that will be manifested. For your beliefs are willingly, unwillingly supporting that which you believe in. So therefore, everyone has a God-given power. Everyone has a God-given ability to notice perfection. And I feel that all of you can sense it, that it's real what I'm saying. So that sensing is a God-given power. It's your God self-gift to know that that's the realness, that that's the reality. But your operating system most likely is either not fully agreeing with it or denying it, or simply is too much engaged with the programming of what you know as imperfection. So therefore, it is a path of ascension. It is a path of ascension to what is truly real and truly natural, such as the law of love, the law of one, perfection of all, creation. And we can recognize that there's a lot of work to be done for humanity and even you to get to that place. And whose responsibility is that, we may ask. So first you need to start with yourself, obviously. And then you need to help people immediately around you with that, obviously. And then we need to help everyone with that, obviously. We are supported in this. I already said that there's a lot of clearings for those who cause the trouble and so on. But mostly, you will recognize that you live your life. And in your life, you need to take an absolute responsibility of everything that is in you, that you believe, that you think, that you accept or deny or resist. So this is important. Now, knowing the truth of perfection of creation, we can now use this God-given power, ability to have a clear conscious intention for our present and for our future. We can have a clear and conscious intention to tune into the perfected future. And thus, by the power of the law of one and now, we can activate this intention of the perfected future to bring it to the present as smoothly and quickly as possible without the least resistance. So I foresee the future where humanity will live in alignment with the laws of universe, with the laws of nature. In the golden age, it might take 50 years or 500 years or 5,000 years until this will be manifested. But why wait? Let's create. And therefore, the vision that I hold is that humanity will live in full alignment with the law of love, with the law of one, fully acknowledging the perfection of creation, the perfection of each moment, that humanity will have an absolute responsibility to themselves. We will no longer, humanity will no longer give power to the local politician, to the, so to speak, elected president or the corrupt government, that every single human being will recognize their own responsibility to be their highest self, their God self. Because God cannot be for you. It is your responsibility to be one with God. Most people are hiding from God or denying God or simply ignoring God, so to speak, the present isness of consciousness. So therefore, it is not a belief system that we are talking about. It is not a new philosophy. It is the actual alignment with reality, with perfection of creation. Maybe even reality is too difficult word. The perfection of creation is undeniably here. So therefore, in the eyes of God, in the eyes of divine, humanity is currently in its childhood stage. And now we will be coming soon to the teenagehood stage as a human civilization. And however long it's gonna take, 10, 50 or 500 years, humanity will grow up to live truly and fully according to the laws of the universe, and science is catching up to that. So let's visualize for a moment that every single human being is embodying their God self, that every human being is in full consciousness, in absolute responsibility, in absolute ability to live according to the laws of the universe. That humanity has advanced to a stage where science fully recognizes the laws of creation. Quantum physics is already going that direction. And therefore, we can eliminate poverty on this earth. There's no more poverty, and there are no more diseases, and even no more death as such. The death will be, or simply leaving the body will be a choice, will be a choice of completion, and knowing that I would like now to go somewhere else and do something else in the universe. So there will be no more diseases, no more death, no more poverty, no more hunger, and everything will be in abundant supply. All your needs will be in abundant supply, and the purpose of your life will be to live according to the laws of the universe and to follow your soul path, your evolutionary soul path. To follow, so to speak, your joy, your passion, your love, your bliss, to follow your evolution, everything that is in alignment with your evolution, in your evolution as a being in this universe. Yes, as a being in this universe. And that is the path of ascension. Even for those who are enlightened beings or in full consciousness, it is still an infinite evolution of ascension. meaning climbing the ladder of frequency and vibration in this perfection of creation. So this is why all the beings, realized beings, of course, Jesus and Buddha and Krishna and the other ones, have shown these qualities of perfection, have shown the qualities of love, wisdom, compassion, and knowledge of the universe, its laws. So therefore, that is the destiny of humanity. That's where we are heading. And I would like you to feel now yourself in the future, in the highest vibration and form of perfection that you can ever imagine right now. So take a few moments just to visualize and feel into this possibility of your future perfection, in this possibility of love. For it is not only possibility, it is the power of your own God self. And you have, and you will have, and you will know how to do it. But right now, just picture and visualize your own perfected self, your own loving self. Imagine how it would feel without any issues, without any limitations, without any pains and aches and stresses and worries. That is the perfected state of being. So take a few moments to visualize that and bring it into your heart. Know it in your mind with certainty that that is the power of your own God self. Know that you are blessed, of course, since you are here today, that you are truly blessed, and it will be shown to you how to do it, but don't worry about it now. Just picture, visualize it, and put it into your heart. Holding this feeling of perfection, love, and possibility, and the reality of the universe to support you in it. Let's now do a practice of unifying your energy centers so that you can connect to the power within you, to your own spirit self. So as you breathe softly and gently, take a few moments to slow down even further, becoming more present. And take a few moments to feel the top of your head, your crown. The top of your head, your crown, is connected with your root. Your root is your hips and your bum, the bottom of your spine. So the top of your head is connected with your root center. Feel that connection for a few moments. If you can't feel it, That's okay. Simply have intention. Just to follow through, listen through, and just to have intention of connection. So the top of your head, your crown, is connected to your root. Continuing now, your third eye, your mind's eye, your forehead, your pineal gland. Feel it for a moment, your forehead. And your forehead is connected to your sacral, to your belly center. Your forehead is connected with your belly. When you're ready, feel now your throat is being connected to your solar plexus. And then when you're ready, feel your heart and stay in the heart center. All your centers are now unified and you are centered in the heart. It is a unified field. All your energies are joined and connected into a unified field. All your separate energy centers are joined and connected into a unified energy field. Feeling wholeness. When having your energy connected and unified in this unified field, it allows for your spirit self, God self, to function through you effortlessly with a great power. And in your heart, as you hold the image of perfection of your own self and your future, even if you never thought it's possible, it doesn't matter. Simply hold the image of perfection of how you would like to see yourself. Feeling younger, healthy, energized, lively, beautiful in your own beauty, having this great love and power within you to live your perfected life. And to also see the future of the golden age, where there is no more poverty on the earth, there is no more hunger and starvation, there are no more diseases and death. With the assistance of new technologies, new scientific revelations, and acceptance of the universal laws, and truly putting them in practice, it is all possible. It is only a question of time. And since time is relative, and since you live and you are in the now, thus holding this vision in your heart, it amplifies the timeline of creation of the golden age to make it sooner, quicker, and smoother and easier. At the same time, feel that your heart is connected with every other heart who also holds this highest intention. With the hearts of all the people in this meeting, with the hearts of your soul guides, with the hearts of countless other people who know this, who are the light workers, healers, who work on ascension and for the good of the earth and humanity, connected with ascended masters, with the sages, enlightened beings, archangels, other angels who hold the same vision of creation of heaven on earth. And thus your heart is connected with all the hearts who hold the same highest vision, the same highest intention. And you can ask your own God self to help you, guide you, and show you the way. Your own God self is your greatest power. It is your greatest power without resistance, without time, without space. It is a power which is totally one with all the forces of nature. And thus it is the greatest power of the God Self through all the forces of nature, through all the universal laws, to bring this world into perfection. And relatively speaking, it's only the question of time. Know this in your heart, know this in your mind, know this in your soul. And you can always come back to your highest God Self through unification of your energy centers. For in that moment, you are in the unified field, open for your God Self to function through you, to express through you, to create through you, so that you can be one with your own God Self, with your own self, with the highest form of your consciousness, highest form of creation, highest form of living, being, creating, expressing. So it shall be, and so it is. May you be blessed, and may you know and feel your highest potential. And now you can also spend a few moments to examine if there are any resisting patterns inside you. Take a moment to notice if anything is objected or resisted to your own greatest power, if there is a disbelief or not knowing whether you can or you are, or perhaps there is a story that you are telling yourself, that your subconsciousness is telling you, or perhaps there is a certain judgment or a certain complaint, a certain victimhood mentality. Take a few moments to notice any opposing force, any opposing thought. In noticing it, acknowledge that that's what's already here, but acknowledge that that is unnatural, that is unnatural, that this any opposing thought, belief, or judgment is actually unnatural to your own greatest power and love. And therefore, from this moment, you can declare to yourself that you will no longer support the opposing energies, thoughts, and patterns. That from this moment, you will no longer support any opposing forces, energies to your own God, love, power, self. That from this moment you will support what is life supporting, what is aligned with perfection, with love, in alignment with the universal laws. And you will no longer support that which opposes, denies, or resists the power and love of your own God self, of your own highest expression of consciousness. May it be so, and so it is. It is your own certainty, it is your own willingness, it is your own dedication, it is your own courage, bravery, ability, and power. And for a few moments, as you hold this perfected future in your heart, for a few moments, forget what is possible or impossible and simply feel that it is already real. How would it feel when it is already real? Feeling that you are already living it, that it is already here. And that is exactly how it is, and it would feel even more loving and perfect. It is a great power to hold that vision. For everyone who holds that vision, the universe is truly one with you. Your soul is truly one with you. Your God self is truly one with you. Everyone who holds that vision and who can keep holding and working on it, know that the universe is one with you at all times. Even though if the physical reality, so to speak, the physical manifestation is not there yet, it's not here yet, But this is the process of creation. Every architect clearly knows what they are or what will be created. So therefore, your own soul, God self, by holding this vision, is like the architect of your life, and aligned with the universal laws will surely be of the highest power, highest love, and highest service to all. Even if your mundane life doesn't seem to be perfect or harmonious, it doesn't matter, because when you hold that vision, when you align yourself in the right way, in the highest way, within time, your physical manifestations will change, because that is the law of the universe. Even if everything around looks difficult or bleak, that also doesn't matter, because you are the shining light, because you hold that power. And the more people there are who consciously hold this power through the laws of resonance, we counterbalance millions and millions of people who know not what they are doing, who are not in their own God self power. So therefore you will be known to the angelics, to the sages, to the masters, that you were the one holding this light, this vision, this intention. No matter of the physical manifestation, circumstances and conditions. And that is truly a transcendent life, a transcendent and ascended life, because you already live in perfected state, in perfected alignment, in oneness with the universe and your own God self. You already apply the law of love, the law of one, and therefore you are the master of yourself and of this present moment in which you are. Even if nothing looks close to perfect right now, it doesn't matter. It is all about who you are and what you feel in you. Because all is subject to change. These are the laws of manifestation. This is how everything was created in this universe, by those who hold this power of creation. Even small actions, seemingly small actions, can produce tremendous effects of global resonance. By holding this power and vision in you, even if you walk down the street and smile at someone and somebody sees the light in you, it has a big awakening power. So there is no single excuse of why you can't do it. Or if you don't know what to do. It doesn't matter what to do. For when you stay in that power, when you hold in that yourself in it, in this unified field with the highest intention, actions will arise. You don't have to bother your mind. How shall I do this? Or when is it gonna happen? You don't have to bother about any of it, because you are in a unified field, in alignment with your God self. There is no time and space. And those who hear it fully, you will recognize the greatness of this truth in you. This video will be available for download, and I would recommend you to keep this meditation, this practice, because it will help you always to realign yourself, to recenter yourself back into your own God self. Life has a tendency to take you over. Conditions and circumstances have a tendency to take you over. And therefore, it is your responsibility to come back into alignment, into your own center, into your own power. Alignment and centering into your own power and center is a practice. And the practice makes it perfect when it is done often. As you know, if you climb a hill 100 times, you will know very well the path. And you will be able to do it nearly blindfoldedly and nearly automatically. So you will be able to do this alignment and centering blindfoldedly, automatically, even as soon as you wake up in the morning. You just sit down, and in 10 minutes you are aligned with your unified field and your own God self. The whole universe is in alignment with you. And what an amazing way to start a day. And every day will be a wonder. Will be a wonder, because the mind truly knows nothing. And it doesn't need to know anything much than how to align itself with your own self, with your own true center, your own true power. So use your mind to align yourself and allow everything to happen from your highest self. And that is the way to live. And that is a transcendent way to live. So may it be so, and may you all be blessed. That is my gift from myself to yourself. It is a reminder to all of you to come back to your own self. So now, when you're ready, you can come back from the practice. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We have about 10 minutes. So you're most welcome. Maybe you would like to share how you felt, or maybe what you have seen as your vision. So you are truly and fully welcome to share what is in your heart. And in the meantime, while you gather yourself, I would like to share some news that on the Galactic Academy website, galacticacademy.org, we have launched and published some new pages that you can visit. And there is a lot more new content added in this month. So these new pages are called the Infinite Energetic Ascension. It is in the Ascension menu, and there it is explained that even when you reach full consciousness, it is an infinite energetic ascension to come to your ascended state, and other and further steps into avatarhood, godhood, Buddhahood, and in all the higher universal bodies. For the universe is structured in a higher and higher ways, such as human beings live on this earth, but this earth is the host of all the human beings. This earth has a consciousness which is large, and everyone and everything in this earth, on this earth, inside it, is a part of it. So that is a being called the earth consciousness, the Gaia. There is the solar consciousness. There are other larger cosmic bodies having their consciousness, galactic consciousness, the consciousness of clusters of galaxy, and so on. And it is truly an infinite energetic ascension into the higher forms of existence. Essentially, there's an infinite frequencies to ascend to, an infinite evolutionary possibility for all. So there's a lot more on this page, which you can check it out. And we launched 2 more pages called Healing in the Ascension menu and Manifestation Vortex, where we have gathered a library of videos how to manifest your life with power and with the knowledge of the frequencies, how things really work. So today's meeting is alignment to your own power. And then you can watch more videos of how to basically execute your power, how to manifest things with your power. So there's a beautiful library of videos there which you can have a look at. And also we will be setting up a new Telegram channel for Galactic Academy. And it would be great if you could post your phone number to be added to this new Galactic Academy Telegram channel, where we will be posting many news, updates, and please include the country code because you obviously are in different countries. So you can write it here in the chat, or you can simply also go to the website galacticacademy.org and just also send a message there easily. So in this Telegram channel, we will share news, updates, even what's on the news about the upcoming golden age. We will share, of course, practices and videos and essentially all the ascension techniques and methods and all the beautiful things, because there's really a lot of amazing content to be shared on this Galactic Academy page. Right, so thank you all for sending. Thank you all for sending messages. And yes, once we create this channel, you will see our unique name in it. So it will not be confused. You will find it. But just hold on for a bit because we will create it next week. Right now we were focusing on getting the website and sharing a lot more amazing content with you. Okay. Right, so we have just a few more moments, and do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? And I would like to hear someone to share how you felt during this meditation. It would be great to hear from someone. Yes. Well, we nearly know each and every one of us here. We met with many of you already, and you know many of others already. So I would like to encourage to. Okay. No worries, no worries. Maybe Peter, would you like to say a few words? You need to unmute your voice.
Good evening, everybody. For me, it was pretty intense, and I really felt the crown chakra above, a lot of energy coming on, and feeling close with my higher self, being one, in fact, with the higher self. It's what was like coming home, let's say. Feel really intense. It's like heavy things going on here. Or even maybe to feel that there was a block of heavy weight here which was working. It was something like that.
Yes, indeed. That's lovely. Yes. These what we have, what I have shared today, and these practices are very powerful. And I would really suggest to watch a replay a couple of more times so that you really know how to do these practices, because they're some of the most powerful ascension practices, to align with your own self, to unify your energy field. The unification of your energy field is more powerful than any chakra meditation, because in chakra meditation you work one by one. Yes, and usually you're focused maybe your third eye and your heart. You're focused on a single energy center. And in this unified technique, you are unifying your all energy centers. So therefore, it is a great power. It's very advanced technique. Simple, but very advanced in what it does. Yeah, in what it does, it's amazing. So as you can see on here, there's a 7 chakra symbols. And, we have done so much workshops and meditations about the 7 chakras. And this unified technique it truly brings them all into balance. Because through the unified technique, your spirit self then intelligently harmonizes and it intelligently distributes the energy from one chakra to another so that they're harmonized. Sorry. So you see, that's a blessing. Yes, that's my blessing from my spirit. So yeah, that's true. That's correct. That's how it goes. Yeah. So I know that many of you will actually, focus on single chakra. You feel something in your belly, something here and there, you focus on it. But if you want to really feel whole and complete, that is the technique to do. That is a unified technique. So there are many gifts in this meeting, in this meditation. And so they're freely, lovingly shared with you, with all of you. And I would like to express a big gratitude for sharing your presence, for when you align yourself with your God self, then we meet as one. We meet truly as one. And that is the greatest gift of being that there can ever be. So much gratitude for all of you, for your presence. And with much love, I will see you next week for a satsang meeting, inquiry into the truth. So thank you all. And if you didn't manage to share your phone number, you can just do so on the website itself. Just submit a chat form or just contact us form. So you will receive amazing news and content that will really help you to stay on your path and focused and inspired. So thank you all, and I will see you next week.
Thank you, Mindo. I think you teach by osmosis. It just comes through in the airwaves. It doesn't matter if it's Thursday night. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's Mindo.
Yes. Oh, indeed. We many of us are very connected. And being here together. I can see your faces. Who have your cameras on and really we are connected. We are here and I see everybody and Ezra, and many blessings to you. Yeah, I saw you waving, and yeah, everybody. Yeah.
High souls.
Uh-huh. Yes. So yeah, this work continues all the week, and I am truly with all of you, and you are all with me, and we are all together. So know this, that you are supported always by myself and by everyone present here. Because, physically we meet physically, but we first of all meet in spirit. Yeah, and whether you know it or not, our meeting in spirit, there is a lot of exchange of information, of energy, upliftments, activations.
This spirit meeting blocks out all the worldly problems.
Of course, yes. Yeah.
What corona? What lockdown? This is called open up.
Yes. It's a unification of spirits happening right now around the world. So that's another gift that is apparent. So thank you all, much love to all, and I will see you next week, same time.